Nestled in Danbury, Connecticut, Hearthstone Castle is steeped in mystery and historical intrigue. Originally known as Sanford Castle, it was constructed between 1895 and 1899 by architect G.W. Dietrich for New York photographer Elias Star Sanford and his wife Emma. Designed as a lavish summer retreat, the castle combines architectural elements from various historical periods with accents of the late 19th century. The grand three-story stone castle boasts 16 rooms, including 8 stone fireplaces, turrets, and intricate woodwork imported from Italy. Situated on 18 acres of woodland, only 2 acres were cleared for the castle, leaving the surrounding land untouched. Ooh, the old castle up high in the woods. Today we're on site at Hearthstone Castle. This place has been frozen in time and it's tucked away all the way at the top of a long driveway hidden in the woods. Unfortunately, the inside has just been completely left and abandoned, which ultimately led to the roof collapsing in on itself. But what's incredible is this place actually has a ton of history that's available. So we're gonna go do a deep dive into who actually had this place built in the first place. And then aside from that, when was it abandoned? Why was it abandoned? And how did it look throughout the years?
She got us a fixer-upper.
Oh yeah, real diamond in the rough. After researching, I learned that the stone for the castle was quarried on site and transported across the property by a specifically built railroad. Luxurious wrought iron chandeliers, sconces, and lamps were crafted locally at a Danbury silver plating factory. And inside, Sanford filled the castle with rare artifacts and elaborate European-inspired decor to showcase wealth and elegance. Just can't help but think, imagine pulling up to this house, you go up that long steep driveway, and then you're coming on site for a party and you go under this nice high little entryway right here to what I'm assuming was the front door. It makes sense, obviously. There we go. That's where the front door would have been. So I'm curious to see what the old door used to look like. If I find an image online, I'm going to insert it here. In addition to the main residence, the expansive estate included a caretaker's cottage, water tower, and carriage house. Despite its grandeur, the Sanford family only owned the castle for 5 years because it was rumored that Mrs. Sanford disliked it. So, in 1904, they sold it to retired New York industrialist Victor Buck, who renamed it Buck's Castle, and like the Sanfords, the family used the estate as a summer home until 1918. We are inside the castle.
Inside the castle.
So here, this would have been the front door when you're walking in. Upon entering the front doors, visitors would have been greeted by a warm fireplace and waiting area. To the east, a music room with intricate molding framed the doors and windows, centered around a neoclassical peach marble fireplace that featured cable molding and a carved scallop. Straight ahead was the parlor, and as you walk through that archway to your right was the dining room, which was adorned with coffered ceilings, pine paneling, and large triple windows that filled the space with natural light. Its focal point was a Georgian fireplace of green glazed brick, featuring a central panel with ornate modillons and dentils. And yes, I looked it up, apparently it's modillons, not medallions. My favorite thing here is being able to go on site and see what this space looked like throughout the years and envision it. So here, this was the original living room, and then in 1985, this is what it looked like. And then when we were on site, we could actually still see that cutout on the wall there of where the windows were. This is another angle of the dining room, and if you went through that left door, it led to the butler's pantry, which ultimately led to the kitchen, which was in the back of the house, and I'll show it right here. Walking through the middle doorway, it led to the home's first floor library, which featured oak woodwork and a red brick fireplace that had a diamond pattern mantel. The grand staircase, paneled in oak with bead and reel molding, ascended from the entry hall, and on the first floor landing, a triple window in the curved west tower showcased stained glass panes depicting the Sanford coat of arms. At the top of the stairs, a second library featured built-in bookshelves and a fireplace. It's so cool to see where the floors were and the old details of the windows. The second floor also housed 5 bedrooms, including the large master suite in the curved north tower, while the servant rooms were located on the 3rd floor. In 1918, Charles Darling Parks, president of American Hatters and Furriers Co., acquired the castle, renaming it Hearthstone Castle, to honor its stone construction and 8 grand fireplaces. The castle was intended as a wedding gift for his eldest daughter, Irene Parks, and notably, Charles had purchased the Terrywile estate, a mansion across the street, just 8 years prior. Irene Parks Jennings occupied the castle until her death in 1982. Her heirs, Richard and Constance Jennings, were the last residents living there until March 1987, when the entire Terrywile estate was sold to the town of Danbury. That same year, Hearthstone Castle was declared a historic site. However, under the town's ownership, the castle was not properly maintained, and it eventually fell into disrepair with the roof collapsing in on itself. I have to admit, whoever was on the leadership team in Danbury and let this place rot, shame on you. You were utterly useless, because it's a shame to see such a grand house like this completely just rotted away. Although a positive is, I read that the town is cleaning it up to make it a walled garden, which is ultimately better than tearing down the property entirely. Although, I have to say, even though there's not much left to the inside of this place, we thoroughly enjoyed walking around the outside and the inside. You could just feel that grand energy. It's hard to explain. But if you were a fan of this video, please remember to subscribe and follow along, because Sean and I can't wait to go to more of these places where we can talk about abandoned places and the history behind these places and give them that glimpse of light that they deserve and in a way help bring them back to life. Alright, so thanks for joining us, and we will see you next time. Bye.